This is Alex, welcome to Cyberpunk 2077, and I'm going to hopefully show you how to have more fun with it. This is going to completely avoid any story stuff, so no need to worry about those spoilers. What I am going to be showing, however, is some beginner and advanced tips to help improve your combat potential, along with a few quality of life things to help smooth out the moment-to-moment gameplay. I have 14 of these tips to get through, and I'm going to try to squeeze in as much info in the shortest amount of your time as possible, so let's just jack in and get started. Tip number 1, the majority of the weapons have different length reload animations depending on if the magazine is empty or not. You can often shoot more optimal by reloading at just 1 or 2 bullets left, rather than waiting till the magazine completely empties because of this. If you have always had an overly obsessive reload finger like I have, you're finally rewarded here for reloading prematurely. Number 2, although I'm playing on mouse and keyboard and don't mind actually having to line up my own shots, still, I can't deny how potent and fun the auto-targeting smart weapons are in this. If you want to be able to use these correctly, keep an eye out for any type of smart link device to install into your hands at any of the Ripperdoc cyberware vendors. With this installed, you can zoom in to auto-target specific body parts, or you can simply paint a target once just by aiming over someone, and then you can shoot in almost any direction and the bullets will still find their target. You can use this to shoot someone while you're entirely behind cover, or hit them while they are. The smart bullets do need a little bit of time and room to activate in the air, so just don't shoot these too close to any surfaces. Number 3, keep an eye out for a Kerensakov mod for your nervous system, especially if you're playing a melee-focused character. I'll explain why in a sec. With one of these installed, whenever you shoot while dodging or sliding, it will kick in a few seconds of slow-mo with a pretty short cooldown before you can do it again. This works with melee weapons as well, and is especially good out of a slide, which allows you to get in many more attacks than normal because of the quick combos after the sliding attack animation. You can often get in 3 or 4 hits by doing this before your target even knows what just happened. Tip number 4, some of the gigs and contracts you'll be doing ask you to nicely not explode your victims into tiny bits.
If you can swing it, I want him stopped but not killed.
Some contacts will adjust their payout according to if you keep the targets alive or not, so keep that in mind. If you're not the patient, sneaky, silent takedown type, I know I'm not, there is still a way to go guns blazing, but safely. By attaching a target analysis mod into your ocular system, this will make all of your shots non-lethal and will disable extra headshot damage. When you kill someone now with this installed, they will simply be taking a nice little cozy nap instead of heading off to the underworld. If you want to get back to killing your targets, make sure to have an extra ocular mod in your inventory so that you can put on or off that target analysis mod depending on the situation. Number 5, before you earn the Waste Not Want Not perk in the technical tree, you cannot outright take off any mods or attachments from your gear. However, when it comes to gun scopes, you might slap one on that just really doesn't look right or work well with your weapon. No problem though, because you can always just swap over to any of your other scopes until you find the right one that you like, without scrapping any. Tip number 6, let's be honest, at any given moment in Cyberpunk, there are like 2 million chicken nuggets laying around for you to pick up. If you want to mitigate as much time as possible completely looting a new area, simply tap the quick scan button, left bumper on controller, or a tap of tab on the keyboard, which will instantly mark any lootables in your field of vision. Other than the movement keys, I'm pretty sure this is the one button I have pressed the most while exploring Night City, because yes, metaphorical chicken nuggets are absolutely everywhere here. Number 7, since half of the total gameplay is looking downward and pressing the loot button, that's a joke, your inventory is going to fill up incredibly quickly. If this is a frequent problem for you, you might not be properly using your vehicle's storage potential. Call over your ride, head over to the trunk, and you'll find a mobile storage container you can toss all that heavy gear into to sell or sift through later. Next, number 8, if you have at least a few points in your character's body stat, you can rip off and use those powerful guns attached to the auto turrets. You can sneak up on them or simply disable them with a hack, get in close, and then Master Chief that giant gun like a boss. Tip number 9, a pretty straightforward one. If you really messed up your character's perk distribution, all is not completely lost. At any Ripper dock, they sell a Tabula e Rasa for a whopping 100,000, which allows you to reset all of your perk points. Number 10, every single time you see any action that requires a skill check, meaning something that can't be done unless you have a certain attribute level, make sure you do it even if you don't need to, if that makes any sense. When you do these skill checks, you get completely free bonus experience for that corresponding stat. Since each perk tree has their own skill progression rewards with really useful passives, you want to be getting as much free XP to level these up as you can. Tip number 11, always keep an eye out for this symbol on the minimap or visually on screen, indicating an access point you can jack into. Once these devices are breached, they give you a good chunk of crafting components and currency. You can get even more out of these breaches by investing into the Advanced Data Mine and Data Mine Mastermind, and if you want these access points to be automatically highlighted on your map so that you're not missing out on any easy resources, the Extended Network interface is also a good one to grab. Number 12, hacking mid-combat is pretty useful, especially since the game slows down to a crawl when you highlight someone in scanning mode, but let's say you dislike or don't use the hacking as much as you think you should. For anti-hacking playstyles, keep an eye out for different operating systems that don't use the hacking cyberdex. Some of these will do things like allow you to toggle a passive berserk mode which buffs your offense and defense and allows for a jumping shockwave attack, or another which allows you to manually toggle slow-mo. Tip number 13, this is a pretty simple one, but one that can go easily missed for a while. Limited ammo should never really be much of a problem in Cyberpunk because down at the bottom of your crafting menu, you can churn out tons of ammo yourself by using very common components you'll probably be quite stocked up on. There is even a perk in the crafting skill tree that gives you a 20% chance to not consume any crafting materials, which is really useful for making that ammo. Lastly, tip number 14, once you progress far enough, you'll be getting arm implants that give you new combat abilities. Another one possibly easily missable for a while, if you click on these arm implants in your cyberware menu, you might just have some alternate mod effects you picked up along the way that can modify how these work. You can change the element of the mantis blades or the explosive payload of the projectile launcher, just for a few examples. Also, when having that projectile launcher equipped, bonus tip, you can switch right back over to throwing grenades when you have this on just by toggling off of it in your inventory. And with that, those were all of the gameplay tips I had in store for you in the Keanu Simulator Cyberpunk 2077. If you found any of this info to be useful, or if you have some sweet extra tips of your own, tell me about them down in the comments section because I actually check it quite frequently. If you happen to enjoy the gameplay systems and mechanics focus of my channel, hey, consider sticking around. As always, this has been Alex from Boomstick Gaming, and thanks for watching.